Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Pulls it in at the 13. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. To throw, Mayfield. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Caden Stearns. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. After the turnover, here's Locke. Out quickly to Judy. Touchdown! Jerry Judy, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos have taken the early lead.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. Not the start that they were hoping for. The interception on the first play of the game. It leads to 6 points the other way. How do you rebound from here?
Yeah, a little bit of humor. Got to laugh that one off and not the ha-ha. That was very funny, but kind of like, can you believe that just happened? Let's go out and play now. Let's just start over.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt.
second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first.
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Block off of play action. Out to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On play action, Lock. Flushed out right. And this one's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
We come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. First down, Mayfield. Got a man, that's Rashard Higgins. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. They'll run for the first time with Kareem Hunt. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Mayfield. This pass complete to Higgins. And able to break one. Tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
Complete to Rashard Higgins. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 46-yard line.
Be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. So how's that for an interesting way to start this ball game?
First drive of the game and you go backwards all the way into your own end zone?
Guess it kind of makes you wonder what else we might have in store here in this one. So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Locke and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 16. Off the play fake. Locke. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man. Complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy, 84 yards. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
And now the Broncos are going to line up and elect to go for 2 here. And a curious play call here, to say the least. Thought it might be a trick, but no, he actually goes down to a knee. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And he's going to go out of bounds on the return. He won't even get this thing back to the 10-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield, flush to his right. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. No. Alert.
From the gun, Mayfield. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
He sets to fire deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Broncos will take over here just shy of the 30. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. Well, they certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Second and 10. Throwing now is Locke. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Throwing on first down is Locke. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
He's got 1 touchdown pass already in this quarter, obviously looking for number 2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
Here's second and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Block now on first down. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Out of the pistol, the give to Jones. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Shotgun snap to Locke. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Locke going to throw. He'll fire one downfield for Fant. And he's got his tight end, Fant. Touchdown, Broncos. Noah Fant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it, having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to...
Now looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the return will stop right around the 25. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
First down, Locke. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Locke to throw. This is Hamler on the receiving end. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Nothing our score. It's the NFL on EA Sports. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. They look to throw. It's Locke. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Broncos continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game? And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now. And, Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track. When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw it is Locke. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Block now to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So now Drew Lock gives way to Brandon McManus. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
You got three down.
Mayfield to throw it. He's going to look deep now for Landry. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Broncos are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
Lock now on first down. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They're going to have to do something with him. He was so sensational last week, over 200 yards. AFC Offensive Player of the Week, what do? You hold him?
That's a good start as long as you can get away with it. Otherwise, just giving up penalties and free plays for the offense. But I think you've got to do a combination of things. Chip at his timing at the line of scrimmage, have extra people in the territory for him. You've got to do everything and change it up from snap to snap.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now McManus for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score Broncos 32, Browns nothing. Brandon McManus to kick off.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hey, alert 33. Kill.
Here's Mayfield. That one is caught by Hunt. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
They go with the empty set there. 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion caused defensively, and it turns into a big play.
Watch the sled. Hey, watch it. Alert. Shit.
Mayfield now from the 50. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The 42-yard line.
Mayfield down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Check three. Check three.
Point it right. Point it right. Point it right.
Now Mayfield. That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
This one wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Mike, he's coming. Check in. So we got man. Mike 28. Here we go, D. All day, defense.
Another try after the first down sack. Lock. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by the rookie Greg Newsome. And the Browns will take over here just shy of the 30. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
The Browns drive about to get started. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. That catch good for only a couple.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle it for just a short gain.
8 yards to go on 2nd down. Mayfield looks to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
Let's go.
This time they stay on the ground. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Tight right. 4 down. Check. Whip.
They fake the handoff, now Locke. This will be caught. Judy. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Tight end right. 4 down. Shift. Check 43.
On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown. Jerry Jeudy, 51 yards. And the Broncos come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. McManus's point after is good, and the lead will swell by one more.
Broncos 39, Browns nothing. Brandon McManus to kick off for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing, Mayfield. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. He's at the 50. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos 33. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Looking to throw. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. Touchdown, Browns. Jarvis Landry, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns able to get this one back to within at least some measure of respectability. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10. Here's Locke. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. The give is to Jones. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4.
Don't be scared of it. Mike 4. I got one.
Now Locke. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
First down, Broncos.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Looking to throw. Locke. This is the tight end fan. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
Alert. 3 down. Check 3.
On 1st down, Locke. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy there to make the grab. And the Broncos add on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Pulls it in at the 13. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Mayfield on first down. Swings this out for Hunt. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They run with Hunt. Finding room to the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. 59 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Bradley Chubb there on the tackle.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Mayfield on 3rd and 2. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side, and he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. A huge play there for Denver. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them and now it's been a real issue for him during this game.
Into the red zone, it's Locke. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it,
and give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Ryan Switzer on the return. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Hey, we got three. Three down.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. He gets them a little over half of what they need, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Check the hot read. Hey, alert three. Check. Lucky. He's crashed.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Double tight, guys. Double tight.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Let's get it.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And this one is right down Broadway. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Denver, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year.
And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.